Okay, welcome back to Matchweek Breakdown. This is being filmed on a Thursday, so I believe games start tomorrow or the day after. I can't really remember. I think press conferences are tomorrow, and then games are on Saturday. But that's besides the point, because today we are talking about Match Week 16. Yep, Match Week 16. Um, not there wasn't much that happened. I don't think there were any red cards in any of the games. There was one or two games that were interesting. Actually, more than a few, now looking at it, to be fair. But anyway, we'll get on to them. You know how we do it. First game, last game, talk about it in between, talk about some interesting things that I think need to be talked about. Um, but yeah, we'll see. We will talk about it all together. Well, I will be. I'm not joined by anyone, so just me today, as always. But first game is Chelsea Everton 2-0 Chelsea. Cole Palmer made his comeback in this game. Um, with a goal, as Cole Palmer does. Um, I think with Palmer, I think he is possibly one of Chelsea's most important players. Whilst he was gone, I think that kind of shifted onto Enzo Fernandez and Caicedo and Marc Cucurella, and players like that had to take a lot more responsibility. And João Pedro, even players like Neto, they had to kind of take on that responsibility a bit. But now Cole Palmer's back, he's going to run the show a lot more. He got taken off about just before an hour in, I believe. So I don't know if that was just precautionary by Enzo Maresca, hopefully, because Palmer is a good player to watch. Just annoying when he's playing against you because he is good. Um, but it wasn't actually about Cole Palmer this game, it was about Malo Gusto. He got the goal and the assist for this game. It was actually a really good performance by him. I think he looked really dangerous going forward and defensively. He's one of those players that when he's on the football pitch, if he's having a bad game, he's having a really bad game and a really poor game. If he's having a good game though, he's having a good game. And he had a really, really good game. I think he looked really, really solid going forward, as he should. Reece James obviously filling in that midfield pocket now, but with Malo Gusto at right back, getting a lot more game time than he did last season for sure. I think he's really starting to shine and show what he can deliver to the team. But yeah, Malo Gusto had a really good game, goal and an assist. Yeah, Cole Palmer got taken off 58 minutes in. Um, Everton didn't really have a look in this game. He had 11 shots in total, only 2 on target. Um, Compared to, and their XG was only 1, pretty much. It was 1.03, but no one really cares about the 0.3, it's 1. But Chelsea's doubled that, and they had 17 shots and only 5 on target, but still, that is a lot. And 82% pass completion by Everton, only 373 in total. It really, it wasn't an assured performance at all by Everton. It was quite sloppy in places. They gave the ball away a lot. It was a game that they won't want to remember, but they'll move on and they'll move forward. Obviously, with AFCON now happening, some Everton players are going to be out for the Arsenal game this week, which isn't their finest bit of work. I think Gay's going to be gone for Senegal. I believe Njai's going to be gone for Senegal as well. And let me check if there's anyone else who's going on their bench. I don't believe so. I think it is just those two. Yeah, it's just those two at the minute. But yeah, I think those two are going to be such big misses. Gay and obviously Njai, who has been doing a lot for that team at the minute. But yeah, I think they're really going to struggle against Arsenal next week. I don't know who they're going to put into that midfield for Gay. Maybe they put James Garner in there, and start Nathan Patterson at right back. But I don't know. David Moyes going to have to figure something out because it was quite a not a good performance against Chelsea. But Chelsea are performing well. They're doing really well this season, to be fair. And Enzo Maresca is at the forefront of that. And yeah, he looks happy with how his team is playing, and I would be if I was Chelsea manager as well. But next game is Liverpool Brighton. Hugo Ekitike showed why he should be the starting striker. He really needs to be, and if he isn't by 2-3 weeks with the goals that he's scoring and the way that he's playing in general, it would be crazy if he isn't the starter over Isak. I get it. They paid 120 million for Isak, or 130. I think it was 120 actually. It might have been more though. But they, it was a waste. It really was a waste, and they didn't need to spend it after they got Ekatike anyway. But it was just Isak wanted to leave. Salah made an appearance fairly early into this game, 26 minutes in, and Salah made the appearance, and he got the assist, I believe, for Ekatike's second goal after he scored a minute in. A horrible mistake from Brighton. Really, really poor. Ekatike got the ball off and then just passed it into the back of the net. But yeah, second goal looked really assured. Salah with the assist after Gyokeres had to come off. I believe that was injury related. But yeah, Liverpool played well this game. It was definitely a picked up performance, especially from their backline. And Ibrahima Kanate, who is in my team of the week, actually had a really, really good game. Yeah, Liverpool, and they're not back. They're not. Liverpool aren't back yet from beating Brighton 2-0. It was a better performance and maybe something that they can build on. We'll see what Arne Slot does next game. But yeah, it was definitely a better performance from the Reds. But Brighton looked a bit dull in this game. They weren't horrible. Obviously, their XG was higher than Liverpool by 0.01. Um, and they had only 4 less shots, but 3 on target. They completed more passes, more saves, so more for Verbruggen to do. But yeah, it wasn't an amazing performance by Brighton. It was just one that they could build on, and if they finish those chances off, maybe they can go on a decent run of form. I don't mind watching Brighton as a team, but they need to get past that mid-table finishes that they've been through for the many couple seasons that they've been in the Premier League. I don't mind watching them playing. I think João Pedro losing João Pedro was a big hit, and they never really got anyone in to cover that. Jorginho Ruta has been playing well. Mint has been playing well. I think Evan Ferguson, when he comes back from loan on Roma, where he is doing well at the minute, that'll be a big one to keep in the team. I think if you keep Evan Ferguson and you actually start playing him, I remember he had a season 2 seasons ago, I believe, where he was just really, really good. He played really well, and then I think he got hit by an injury and came back and was never really the same. But I think Evan Ferguson is a really good player, and he's still young as well. Evan Ferguson is still very young, so maybe we'll see what Herzler does. But I think keeping Evan Ferguson next season will be a priority for Brighton, considering how well he is genuinely playing. But yeah, never really got anyone in to cover that João Pedro hole that obviously got left. We'll see how they do. As I said, I do like watching them play, so I hope they do fill that João Pedro hole. But we'll see. We'll see how they do. Next game was actually a very good game. Fulham Burnley 3-2 Fulham in the end. Away at Turf Moor. Emil Smith Rowe scored in his second consecutive game. Calvin Bassey scored in this game. And Harry Wilson continues his very, very fine run of form with Leslie Ugochukwu and Oliver Sun. I've never heard of that name before. But he came in and scored as well. Both of those two being obviously substitutes, I believe. No, Ugochukwu wasn't because he starts every game at the minute. But yes, it was Fulham are going on a good run of form at the minute. Obviously, they did lose against Man City, but it wasn't a bad performance by any stretch of the imagination. It was a very good performance against Man City, and actually pressured Man City and nearly got the comeback. If it wasn't for Guardiola's save off the line, that would have been a draw. Maybe a win if they pushed a bit harder near the end. But Burnley also looked quite assured defending wise, even though I know I just said they lost 3-2. But I think Scott Parker is really in. I I wouldn't like seeing them get relegated, but out of the teams right now, I think they're possibly most likely. Apart from obviously Wolves, who have still got 2 points, minus 26 goal difference. I think Leeds are going to stay up. I don't think, I know Sunderland are going to stay up. They're 8th at the minute. That is crazy for a newly promoted team, by the way. Do West Ham get relegated? I think that's another conversation. They are currently in the relegation zone, 3 points behind Leeds, actually. But we'll see. We'll see how everything plays out. It could go horribly wrong for Nuno's team, but we'll have to see. Obviously, Smith Rowe and Harry Wilson having a really good run of form at the minute. Obviously, they both scored against Man City, I believe. Harry Wilson scored last game. Smith Rowe, I think, also scored last game. I'll have to check this because Harry Wilson, I don't think he scored last night. I don't believe. Obviously, they had Carabao Cup action on. But yeah, I think Smith Rowe and Harry Wilson are having a really, really good time in their career at the moment. Um, Along with Chukwueze, I think obviously Sasa Lukic scored last night but didn't play in this game. I actually really enjoy watching Sasa Lukic play. I think he's a good player on his day. Um, but Iwobi's still in that six, or he's playing an eight at the minute, kind of. Um, but I think it's a fill-in for Sasa Lukic alongside Sander Berg, which I want to hear what um, Marco Silva has to say about that, because I'm not sure. Maybe I'm not with it at the moment, but I'm not sure what Alex Iwobi's doing there. I think he's a lot better as a winger. I believe he's playing as an 8 by the look of it. Obviously, it shows in formation as a 6, but I think he's playing more as an 8. Um, Kind of what Declan Rice is doing. Obviously, we do have a certified 6 in Martin Zubimendi. And maybe Sonderberger is just playing as that kind of sweeper 6, and Iwobi is being allowed to push forward. But with Harry Wilson in such a good run of form, and Smith Rowe, and Chukwueze, who isn't a bad player, and you can play there. Yeah, I think Iwobi. This is the thing, right? Iwobi is a good winger. He was always a good winger. He was a very young prospect, really really good. But in this team, at the moment with the run of form that they're in, doing really well, I don't see how he gets a look in at the minute. Um, Maybe there will be some more news, obviously with the transfer market coming up, January transfer market. Um, we'll see how that one evolves. Uh, I don't, yeah, I don't. That midfield position for Alex Iwobi, I just don't know how it sits because it's an odd one. It's really an odd one for me. Um, but yeah, I think Alex Iwobi is a very, very smart player, and he knows what he's doing. Some really good goals by Fulham actually. The Smith Rowe one came in from a corner, and then Ugachukwu equalised after that. I think he's in a really good run of form at the minute as well, Ugachukwu. Calvin Bassey obviously nearly scoring last week, and he scored, or was it this game actually? It might have been this game, where he turned. He made a really good defensive action actually, and he goes from his box, runs the whole length of the pitch, cuts back, and can't find. He was trying to place it into that top corner. You can see what he's trying to do with it. Didn't quite get it head on, but that's all right. Um, but yeah, I think that Fulham team right now, their confidence is going to be very high going off that Man City game and off this game. I think their confidence is going to be, yeah, sky high at the minute, which is good because Fulham are actually a good team on their day and they can really break you down. Um, but we'll see, man. We'll see. Right, next game is Arsenal Wolves. I was going to say Aston Villa, but they didn't play Wolves. We did. Um, as you can see, I am an Arsenal fan. Where is it? There we go. Oh wait, my camera is really messing me up at the minute. There we go. Yeah, you can see the Arsenal scarf. And then 2-1. It was a shaky one. It was quite a shaky performance. Obviously, Sam Johnson scoring in the 70 minutes. That's when the deadlock got broken. Own goal by Sam Johnston with a Bukayo Saka corner. He was probably our most dangerous player, Bukayo Saka was, which is good because I want to say this about Saka, right? He is world class, and the amount of people saying that he isn't are the same people who are comparing him every season. There's been a comparison to Saka every season. Mason Greenwood's been there. I think Rashford was there for a bit. Ahmad was there for a bit. Cole Palmer was last season, and Michael Elise is this season. That's 5 people in the last 3 seasons. So if that's what we're going off, Saka is the benchmark for success at the minute. If that's who you're comparing him to every season, he's not overrated. He is the benchmark for success. if you're having to debate Michael Elise, which is a genuine debate, I think there is a debate to be made between Elise and Saka at the minute. I don't think Palmer was a debate last season. I think Palmer had a great season, obviously, but it was too early in his Premier League career to actually decide whether he is better than Saka. And Greenwood was a debate at the time. Ahmad was never, and Rashford was just like, meh. He was all right, I suppose. But yeah, I think Saka is genuinely a world class winger. I think England Player of the Year 2 years in a row. That Euros game, the Euros performance in general was actually really good. Just his performances for England, for club and country, have been so good. And yeah, constantly being compared to players makes him the benchmark, surely. So yes, there was a Bukayo Saka corner whipped in. It looked like it was going in anyway if Sam Johnson didn't get a touch in, but he did. So it's an own goal. And then Tolu, I don't know how you say that name, so I'm not even going to attempt it just in case, because that's oh no, oh dear, oh dear, already started. Um, Tolu, we're going to call him Tolu, scored in the 90th minute. I've seen a lot of people criticising Hincapié for that, but there's not much more that he can do. He did contest for the ball, but it was bullet head. It was a really nicely worked move actually by Wolves, who do look dangerous. Obviously, if you didn't see what Arteta said afterwards, he said that the manner that we conceded in was pretty much terrible, which it was, and we made it so difficult for ourselves near the end of that game, um, because we scored and we never, again, Bukayo Saka was that presence, but a lot of people criticising us for that. Wolves were playing a 5 at the back. They were playing a 5-4-1, which is so difficult to break through. Um, and another person I want to talk about is Vic Gyokeres. A lot of people are criticising him for not scoring enough goals, and I understand that, and I can see where they're coming from completely. I understand it. But the bit that I'm not on board with is how they're saying that he is a flop. But when you look at it, really, it's not that he's not getting into the position to score. He is. He is a complete number 9. But people aren't feeding him the ball. He's not getting any service, so how's he meant to score goals from that? And I think what was really good with Havertz was when obviously he scored that goal against Bournemouth or Brentford. He had a penalty and we let him take it, and he kind of soared off from there. Um, but we can play Havertz in different positions. We can play him as a 10, we can play him as a 9, and I think he can go out on the wing a bit. Um, and he can be an 8 as well. He can play in so many different positions. Same with Gabriel Jesus. He can go on the wing, left and right wing. He can play as a striker. I think if you drop him down into a 10, he could be really good. Just behind the striker. But with Gyokeres, you can't do that. You can't play him anywhere else. He is a number 9. He is a striker. When you don't give a striker service, your striker won't score goals. That's just the way it works. That's how it works. And our players aren't feeding him the ball. There was a really clear ball for Odegaard to play last game against Wolves, and he completely ignored the run of Gyokeres. If he plays him through there, Gyokeres muscles off his man, and I think he scores. But he didn't, and he played a simpler pass. But you have to take risks in order to get the rewards from that. And I don't think he played the right ball. Obviously, we can't change that now. We won the game, we take the 3 points, and we move on. But it's a tough subject to sit on. I think Gyokeres does need to do better in some departments. He's getting into positions where he can score, but he's just not putting the ball into the back of the net, which is where people are coming from. But on the other side, obviously, you can talk about service and how he's not getting the ball played to him a lot, which I also understand. Um, but yeah, we made it difficult, and then obviously a Saka ball in when Jesus came on. I thought it came off Jesus' head. I'll be very honest with you. I thought he scored in his first game back. He did have a good performance, to be fair to Jesus, but Yerson Mosquera in the 94th minute. I'm yawning. Oh my word, not again. There we go. Yeah, Yerson Mosquera with actually a very good header into the back of his own net. Made it difficult for ourselves. It wasn't a great performance. Hincapié had a good game. I've seen a lot of people giving Hincapié stick. I don't know what for. He had a really solid game at centre back and at left back. But you just have to deal with that sometimes as a defender. People giving you stick for no reason. Um, Next is Crystal Palace Man City, where Erling Haaland scored a brace again, and Phil Foden actually got a goal in this game as well. Um, Haaland is unstoppable. He is unstoppable at the minute. I think that's obvious and clear for everyone to see. Um, Another goal in this game, a really nice header, and then a penalty. And Phil Foden, who is another man in Man City's team on really good form, um, with a good finish. Another Cherky assist. Um, he has been really good since he's come back from injury. Cherky has obviously registered the most assists in League last season with 11 in total. Um, and he's bringing that to the Premier League, and he is assisting Phil Foden every single game. They have a really good connection on the pitch, as you can see. Um, but Erling Haaland is just unstoppable at the minute. Like his play has actually gotten better since his first season. Obviously, he broke the scoring record in his first season. It's a debate on whether he can do it again this season. I think he scored 36 or 36 or 38 in his first season in England. Could he hit the 40 mark? Is a debate. He could hit the 40 mark in just the league alone, which I don't think would be broken for so many years unless you find someone who's better than Erling Haaland at scoring goals. It just no, there's no way. But Crystal Palace didn't really have a look in at all in this game. 16 shots compared to Man City's 7. Um, but they just didn't like a 76% pass completion rate, 1.88 goal different or xG, sorry. 4 shots on target. Man City had 7 shots and had 6 of them on target and scored 3 of them. You need to be putting chances away. Like you need to be putting those chances away. I don't see how they didn't. It was so confusing, but yeah, Man City. It's a tough one at the minute because they can smell the blood of Arsenal. Obviously, with more injuries piling up, we now have Ben White out for over a month. As Arteta has confirmed, they can smell it. They're sensing it a bit that Arsenal could be dropping off. I hope we come back in a stylistic way against Everton away from home at Hill Dickinson Stadium. I think we will, obviously, with Iliman and Jai not being there anymore. But yeah, it's not Iliman and Jai not being there anymore. But he's going to Afcon. He's not going to be there. And I was going to call him Iguana Gay. That could be his new name. No, we'll just call him Gay. Just call him Gay. Yeah, he's homosexual. Um, but yeah, really really good performance from Man City. And like I said, they can smell the blood of Arsenal trickling in maybe a little bit. I don't think the title race is blown open. People keep saying that and making it like Arsenal are going to bottle it completely again. They're 2 points off us. Aston Villa are close behind Man City and close behind us, to be fair. But yeah, it wasn't a massively difficult game for Man City to win. Next game was another 3-0 win for Nottingham Forest over Spurs, with Callum Hudson-Odoi scoring a brace. I don't know why I thought it was Ibrahima Sangare. It's just Ibrahim. Just Ibrahim Sangare. Um, but he had a really good game, actually. Sangare had a really, really good game. He got an assist and a goal. I believe Hudson-Odoi got an assist and 2 goals. But for me, Sangare was that man of the match. He was really, really good this game. Really nice finishes from the Nottingham Forest boys. Is Thomas Frank, has he picked up a job that's been too big for him so far? I believe so, yeah. There's been talk about sacks from the Spurs fans. But then it's the question of if you sack Thomas Frank, who do you get in? Xavi? He's not a bad appointment, but he was at Barca for a few years and didn't win as much as he probably should have. Um, it's a tough one. It's a tough one to figure out. If you sack Xavi or sorry, oh my word, I can't speak. If you sack Thomas Frank, who do you get in? No one, probably. Um, But yeah, it was a walkover by Nottingham Forest. Just nothing. Spurs couldn't complete anything. They couldn't do anything. They had 6 shots and one on target. And even though they had a lot of possession, that doesn't mean anything. They had 52% possession, but you can't score goals just by keeping the ball. That's not how football works. It was a poor performance by Spurs, and um, again, Thomas Frank hasn't figured out his front three or front four, kind of. Um, starting Archie Gray again, who was at fault for the first goal. Um, it was really poor, really, really, really poor, actually, by Spurs. Vicario tried to play it at the back to Archie Gray, and he got caught on the ball really, really poorly by Hudson-Odoi um, and Sangare. Sangare went in on Archie Gray, and it was so bad by Archie Gray. Like, you need to do. If you're starting that game, you need to be doing better in that situation. And he just couldn't get there in time. And you can't do anything about it when you lose the ball there. Um, But yeah, really, really poor from Spurs. Really poor from Thomas Frank, who doesn't know what he's doing with his team at the minute. Archie Gray starting. I don't know why. Colin Moore, starting on the wing when he's probably your best striker. I mean, you can make an argument for Richarlison, but not really. Um, but anyway, yeah, really, really poor from Spurs. Really good from Nottingham Forest, though. Not taking anything away from them. They were really good this game. But yeah, it was poor from Spurs. But what can you do? You just need to bounce. You need to move on. It's just so. Spurs have this tendency of sacking their managers, and even though they have said that they're going to give Thomas Frank time to kind of implement himself, it might be past that now. It might be past. Like, yeah, give him a chance to win things, but he's not going to win you anything, realistically. Third. You're number 3. That's crazy. Um, yeah, there was. I wouldn't give him time to implement himself because he's not really gonna. He's not gonna win you anything. He hasn't got the experience of winning anything to win you anything. Um, Next game is Sunderland Newcastle Tyneside Derby or Tyneware. It's one of the two. A Sunderland win from a Nick Voltamada own goal. And it was a lovely own goal. I've got to say, it was a really nice header from Nick Voltamada. Just in off the bottom side of the bar. It was a wonderful header. Just over Ramsdale. He couldn't do anything about it. But yeah, it was really nice actually. I'm really enjoying watching Sunderland this season. I think they've been really, really good. Um yeah, that like Newcastle looked okay. They didn't really look up for it. Neither of the teams looked massively up for it this game. It wasn't a great game of football, I'll be completely honest with you. There were some challenges here and there, but yeah, not really much that happened. Not really many shots. Yeah, nothing really happened. But it was just yeah, it was a good game of football. It was one that Sunderland were happy to win. It was one that Newcastle would have been happy to win. But there were some really good saves, obviously, there by Robin Roofs. Was that how you say his name? I think that's how you say his name. Something like that. Yeah, it was really nice. Really good saves. Yeah, not much more you can say about that. Next game is 3-2 Aston Villa, West Ham. Mateus Fernandez scored in actually, Ekatike not broke a scoring record. He scored the fastest goal this season, and then in the same game week, Mateus Fernandez broke that record. Like, that's crazy. So I think Ekatike scored in 46 seconds, and Mateus Fernandez scored in 34. Brother, what? How? Um, but yeah, they went ahead. Obviously, Jared Bowen. No, I'm getting it wrong. They have their Premier League have their apps figured out so weird because they put own goals at the bottom. So Mavropanos leveled it for Aston Villa actually with a 9-minute own goal. Not it took not. What do I even try and say? It took 9 minutes to get the ball into the back of the net from the own goal. No, he scored an own goal in 9 minutes. And then Jared Bowen put West Ham ahead, which is not many things that you can say this season because West Ham don't go ahead a lot. Um, but Morgan Rogers came in clutch again with 2 goals in the 50th and the 79th minute to give Aston Villa the win. It's actually really nice to see Morgan Rogers performing well again. Obviously, he started off the season a bit slow, maybe not doing as well as he could have, but he's picked it up tremendously and he's doing really, really well for Aston Villa. I think Unai Emery is possibly in contention for one of the best managers in the league. I don't think there's any doubt about that. But the man that we're going to talk about after this game, I think, is having a tremendous, tremendous career revival. But yeah, I think Morgan Rogers is getting back to his best. I think Donyell Marlon is having a decent season. Um, I've got to say Watkins isn't performing at his best. Got to say, did I do the Bournemouth game? Did Bournemouth play and I just didn't do anything? Oh no, not the bottom of course. Oh my god. Oh my word. Right, we're gonna get onto that one. But anyway, yeah, I think Watkins is underperforming, especially since last season. There are a lot of strikers who are doing really well. Mateta had a really good season. Um, Watkins had a really good season last season. Um, Chris Wood had a very good season last season. I don't know what's happened to him. He fell off a cliff. But yeah, just a lot of strikers had a very good season last season. Mateus Cunha, he had a really good season. Wissa had a really good season, along with Mbeumo in that Brentford side. A lot of strikers had a good season, but they're not picking up. Mateta is kind of the only one out of those lot who kept form. Um, yeah, yeah, that's kind of it. But yeah, it's really nice to see Morgan Rogers doing well. He is one of when he's on his day, he is a top player. It took 70 minutes in the Brentford Leeds game for the deadlock to be broken, but not the only goal in that game. Jordan Henderson scored in 70 minutes, which is his first Premier League goal in 3 years, I believe. Could be 4. But yeah, I think his last goal was when Liverpool won the league, actually, which is 6 years ago. But I don't think it was that long ago. I could be wrong, though. But yeah, um, Jordan Henderson scored in 70 minutes. Dominic Calvert-Lewin in the 82nd minute levelled it. And this man is having a career revival. Incredible career revival. It is incredible what he's done with his career. I think leaving. Where did he come from? Where did. Oh my god. My head's gone blank on where Dominic Calvert. Everton. Yeah, of course. Um, he wasn't going to get game time at Everton. He came to Leeds and he's doing really well. He hasn't got injured since he's been at Leeds, which is great for Dominic Calvert-Lewin, especially. Man United Bournemouth, obviously in this game. Not in the Brentford Leeds game, but they had their own game of brilliance, excellence, possibly game of the season. Um, Amad Diallo, I'm gonna rattle off the goal scorers, so keep your ears open. Amad Diallo, 13 minutes. Antoine Semenyo, 40 minutes. Casemiro, 49, but that was before halftime. Evan Nilsson, 46 minutes, just after halftime. Marcus Tavernier, 52 minutes. Bruno Fernandes, 77. Mateus Cunha, 79. And then Junior Krupi, 84 minutes. Bloody hell, it was a good game. Wonderful game. Diallo's goal was good. Semenyo scored again. We're getting there. We might be getting back to his best. Don't get too excited. Casemiro, I mean, he's doing all right this season, isn't he? Realistically. Evan Nilsson finally on the score sheet. He scored his second goal in the Premier League. Um, Marcus Tavernier with a free kick. And then Bruno Fernandes levelled that one with a free kick of brilliance himself. Mateus Cunha, 2 minutes later, put them in front. And then they bottled it in the 84th minute to Eli Junior Krupi. This is possibly game of the season. And if it isn't, then it'll be the Man City Fulham game. I think that's a tough one to actually debate. Which is game of the season at the minute? I think it is Man City Fulham. Sorry, I'm just trying to find my team of the week just so I can tell you it at the end of the video. Where is it? Where the flip? There we go. But yeah, it is a tough one to see at the minute. I think it is. I think it is Fulham Man City by the slightest of margins because that game was really good. But yeah, it was a entertaining game of football. It's one that I didn't expect. I expected a Man United win, if I'm completely honest with you all. But yeah, Bournemouth really stuck their necks out and they grinded a result out, which is what you want from a team. And I think Bournemouth are going to be picking up form as well. So yeah, it's good. It's nice to see these teams doing well again. Sorry. Ugh. Ugh, that was weird. But we've had a really short episode this week, so maybe we'll do predictions for the weekend coming up. We'll do that. I'll tell you my team of the week at the end of the video. Actually, I'll save that because I think it's a very good team of the week, in my own humble opinion. Right, first game is Newcastle Chelsea. I think Chelsea take it. After Newcastle's performance, I think Chelsea are gonna win comfortably. I'm gonna say 2-0 Chelsea, possibly 3-0. We'll see. I think 2-0 is a good result. Um, Bournemouth versus Burnley. I'm gonna say Bournemouth. Am I? Yeah. 2-1 Bournemouth. Because neither of them have won in their last 5. But Bournemouth have gotten better results. Brighton Sunderland, I think 2-0 Sunderland away from home. I don't think it will be much of an issue for them. Man City West Ham, 4-0 City. Yeah, 4-0 City. Um, again, not too much of an issue for Man City. Wolves Brentford. Brentford. I don't think that one's much of a question. Yeah, Brentford 3-0, I think. Spurs Liverpool will be a good game. It's just which team is better on the day, as all games are, but still, you know what I mean. Um, both of these teams haven't been performing great of late. I think I think Liverpool will. I think it'll be a draw. Actually, I'm gonna say 1-1 draw. Yeah, 1-1 draw for that game. Um, Everton Arsenal. I think will be. I'd be happy with a 1-0 Arsenal, but I think it will be 3-1. Yeah, I think 3-1 Arsenal. Um, and then Leeds Crystal Palace. I think 1-1. Honestly, I think Leeds will grind out a result that game. Aston Villa Man United. I'm gonna say 2. No. 1-0 Villa. I think, yeah, I think they'll scrape a 1-0. Um, Fulham Nottingham Forest. That could be a good game. That will be a good game actually. Fulham Nottingham Forest both performed very well in the week gone. I'm gonna say 3-2 Fulham. I think they've just got the edge over Nottingham Forest at the minute. Um, lost their last, lost 2 of their last 3, but they've put the good performances out enough to beat Nottingham Forest. Right, hello. What? Okay, sorry, that was my cat. I swear to God. Sorry, this is an intense moment. No, we're good. On to my team of the week. I've put Robin Roos in goal. I've put Hincapié at left back. I'm gonna get stick for that, I know, but he's been really good. Ibrahim Kanate, really good performance actually. Very assured. Dan Ballard put in a wonderful, wonderful. Give me a minute. Wonderful performance. There we go. In the derby, Malo Gusto. I don't need to say anymore. Ibrahim Sangare. Uh, my my man of the my. Oh, that sounds dodgy. He's my player of the week. I was going to say my man of the weekend, but no. My player of the week is Ibrahim Sangare. Morgan Rogers put in a really good performance. Phil Foden, really good performance. Um, Saka, influential to that win. Hudson Odoi, I don't know why you wouldn't put him in. And Ekatike over Haaland, I think he's a better player overall than Haaland. I'll be honest with you. So the picture will be there, just on the screen in front of you now. But yeah, that's kind of all there is to this week. Yeah, obviously, press conference tomorrow. We'll get some injury updates by every manager because there's always an injury update. Tell me what your predictions are for next week. or for the week coming? Because I'm interested and I want to know what you think about your team's performances as a whole. If you're a Bournemouth fan, if you're a Fulham fan, if you're an Arsenal fan, if you're a Chelsea fan, I don't care. Just tell me what you think because I like actually watching people debate about football and talk about football because I do as well. So thank you all very much for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.